Welcome to another episode of the Off Market Operator Show. You guys, today we're going over one of my favorite topics, which is how do you build a company that does deals instead of you hustling out there on the hamster wheel doing deals. So without further ado, let's get right into the show. People don't fail at real estate because they suck. They fail because there's too many ways to succeed. That's why I suggest you focus on the most important skill in all of real estate, which is finding deals. I'm Ruud-Johnson, and in this podcast, I share the exact steps I've used to source 400 deals by age 24. This will allow you to do three things: control your deal flow, make unlimited income, and build your empire as an off-market operator. This episode's on one of my favorite topics, which is understand the difference between you buying real estate, you flipping houses, or you wholesaling houses, and building a company and building a business that wholesales real estate, building a business that flips houses, and building a business that buys real estate. Most real estate investors spend their whole career doing that themselves. They flip homes, they develop homes, they build a portfolio, they list homes, they buy, they're realtors, they're brokers, and it's always them that are directly involved with their real estate, which is great. You can make a ton of money. You can build a portfolio. You can build your dream life. But most people end up either A, burning out, or B, never getting to the size of portfolio business that they can, because instead of focusing on buying real estate, they need to be focusing on building a business. And that's what I'm talking about in this show, is how do you actually build a business that does those things instead of you doing all those things yourself. And let's be honest, between $0 and $1 million per year in real estate, you can get away with hustling, with chasing down the next wholesale deal yourself, with flipping the next property yourself, with developing the next deal yourself, with building your own portfolio. But eventually you're going to hit a ceiling. And entrepreneurs have this thing: when we hit ceilings and we start experiencing pain, we don't keep pushing and growing. And not because we can't, not because we don't know what to do, but because of the fact that, unfortunately, we've hit our pain threshold. And when we hit our pain threshold, we stop doing the things we know we need to do, and we start throwing hand grenades and getting in our own way. And the issue is with this is it's not your fault. Every single person has a cap on how much they can do by themselves. Every single flipper has a cap on how many flips they can do per year by themselves. Every single wholesaler has a cap on how many wholesales they can do per year if they're wearing every single hat in their business. Same thing for if you're developing property. Same thing if you're doing short-term rentals, Airbnb, whatever you're doing in real estate, you have a cap on what you can do alone. Okay, that's usually around $1 million per year in revenue in whatever you're doing. To take it to the next level, to go from hustler to operator architect and move yourself up the delegation ladder that I talk about all the time on the show, you have to focus on building a team and building a company that performs the action of investing in real estate rather than investing in real estate yourself. And that's how you go from $1 million a year to 5 million to 10 million and grow a massive business and a massive portfolio, which you may or may not want. But for this podcast is speaking to you guys that are out there hustling, chasing down that next deal. You feel like you're constantly on that deal hamster wheel and you want to get off it, and you want to build a team that performs action so you can be a business owner. And most real estate investors, they don't have that business owner brain because they've never had to. You've always been able to make a $50,000 check, $60,000 check, $100,000 check by doing the flip, doing the development deal, doing it all yourself. And that's awesome. But to sustain yourself long term, you should be investing in building a business. And the first part about that, you guys, is the admin level stuff. And I talk about that a lot on the show. But the first part of going from investor to business owner of an investment company is focusing on the admin work. And what I want you to do is I want you to start off by doing a 2-week time audit. I want you to break your time into 30-minute blocks for 2 weeks straight and analyze everything you do on your day-to-day. What I want you to start looking at is what admin related tasks that's simple and easy to delegate can we start handing out. And I don't even need you to go hire an American. I don't need you to go hire someone in your office. You don't need to go get an office. You don't need to do anything crazy. You can go on Upwork.com and you can hire a virtual assistant. And I talk about this a lot across my social media profiles and this podcast. And you can go hire a virtual assistant to step in, and they can start taking those admin tasks off your plate. And delegation's a muscle. It's something you have to start practicing. If you never practice, you're not going to wake up one day knowing how to recruit, hire, train, and manage. And so starting with admin level tasks with virtual assistants is a great low barrier to entry, because you can go find a virtual assistant for $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 an hour that'll step into your business and will take over all those admin tasks for you. Once you're done with admin tasks and you've done that for 3 or 6 months and you're no longer doing the admin related stuff, the bookkeeping, the CRM maintenance, maybe the cold calling, all the stuff that's just a drag on you, you can move up the hiring ladder to fulfillment. And what fulfillment looks like in a fix and flip company, it's who's managing the project, who's ordering the materials, who's moving the project along. In a wholesaling company, that could be your transaction coordination team. If in a development company, that could be who's getting the permits pushed through. So the fulfillment job is who is fulfilling the product of your company. If that's a flip, a wholesale, a development deal, buy a portfolio, whatever that is that you're building. And that's usually going to be a stateside person for the most part. And that's when you're really going to have to dive deep into getting into recruiting and training, which isn't that hard. And don't overthink it. Go out, make your first hire. You might fall on your face. You might struggle. They might quit. Delegation is a muscle. And if you don't exercise that muscle at the fulfillment level, you'll always be stuck managing your own projects, managing your marketing, managing all that stuff in your own business. And here's where people mess up. They get the admin part done. They have virtual assistants. They get the fulfillment part done. They have people pushing their projects through and fulfilling their product. But then they get to a part where they go, how do I get more deal flow? And they start wanting someone to do sales for them, work off market leads, go network with wholesalers. But before hiring for the sales position, you guys have to hire for the marketing position. If you do not hire marketing before sales, you have a constant churn of salespeople in your organization. And I know this from several different companies that I've been scaling as CEO. So marketing is easy to hire out in this business. You can go hire an agency to do your cold calling for you, like My Call Center, easybuttonleads.com. There's other ones out there as well. You can go hire a company to do pay-per-click, paid ads for you. I'm not going to make this a marketing episode and teach you how to market, but what I am going to say is you want to make sure you hire marketing first. If you're going to, again, build a company that invests and buys real estate instead of you doing that yourself, you start with admin, then you go to fulfillment, and then we go to marketing. Once we have consistent leads rolling in, then you can hand off that sales hat. And sales is the hardest position to hire for and retain in an organization because salespeople have kind of quirky personalities. They're momentum-based people, and you have to keep them fed and happy. And so in real estate, they're most likely going to be mostly commission. And I'm not going to talk about commission and what to pay your salespeople in this episode, but that's the next position. If you're a wholesale company, you have sales, acquisitions, and you have dispositions. If you're a flipping company, you have acquisitions. And then you have agents on the backside selling your flips. If you're a developer, same thing. You might have an acquisitions agent as well as your agents that disposition your properties once they're done. You guys are going to have a team of salespeople on each side of your deals, okay? But you have to have consistent lead flow to keep those people happy, loyal to you, and to get good quality talent in the door. Because the last thing that you want is someone that's, 20% of who you are on the phones. And I'll give you a quote here that I love. Having someone that's 70% of your sales skill set doing a job you used to do, but doing it every single day, and that's their only hat they wear in the company, is way more valuable than you doing that. Even though you're better, you doing that once or twice a week because you have to wear so many hats. Again, I'll break that down for you. If you hire someone and they're 70, 80%, even 60% as good as you are at that task or role in your company, which they probably will be, that is fine. Because if that's all they do and they do that every single day, consistent mediocrity is way more valuable to your company than intermittent quality. Okay. Even if your quality of that role, of that job is supreme, if it's intermittent, it doesn't matter. If you're doing it once a week because you're so bogged down with all these tasks, it doesn't matter. And if that's all that person's doing 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, they're eventually going to get better at it than you if they're the right personality and the right person in that seat. And after that's leadership. So once you've hired out sales, your leadership, you still have to lead your company. You still have to provide culture. You still have to provide direction and clarity, strategy, show up, be present, and bring that energy every single day to your organization. If you do not, your organization will not grow and eventually die. And you'll be right back hustling your way after the next deal again and again. So again, I'll go through A to Z. Start with admin. You go to fulfillment. From fulfillment, you go to marketing. From marketing, you go to sales. From sales, you go to leadership. And what I want for all of you guys listening to this episode, if you want that, if you want a business that invests in real estate instead of you always chasing your next deal, it is possible. And if you follow these steps and you build that muscle of delegation, even if you think you suck right now, you will build the skill set. If you show up every single day and work on that hiring ladder, you will eventually get to a place where you have a company consistently doing deals, whether you open your laptop that day or not. And that's what I want for every single one of you guys, is to get to that point, because then you can point that machine at building a portfolio. You can point that team at wholesaling more deals, flipping more deals, developing more deals, and you can move from hustler to operator to architect. So again, if you guys are watching this episode, hear me. It is possible to have a company that does deals instead of you doing deals. Thanks for hanging out for the last 10 minutes or so, you guys. Again, this is a short, action-packed episode of, I get DMs all the time of, hey, how do I scale? And to scale in real estate, you need a team, you need a company, instead of you hustling out there on the hamster wheel and the deal treadmill. So if that's you guys, you are out there doing deals, but you feel like you are, spinning in circles, this episode is for you. Watch it once or twice through, take notes, and if you abide by this hamster wheel and build that delegation muscle, you will get to a great place. Beyond that, as always, a share, a DM means the world. I do listen to your guys' feedback, and I love getting your guys' DMs about the show. A share on your story also means the world. And if you guys could, wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever else, give me a follow, a download, and a review. And I'm looking forward to continuing bringing you guys action-packed value in these episodes. So without further ado, as I always say, you are only one deal away.